Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I greet you, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. Today, I just want to share some information with you, a little history here concerning myself, but not really just me, but concerning myself and the Imam, but some information that although it was dealing with me directly, that it's important information and for all of us and for anyone who of us who love Imam Muhammad, loved him and tried to do our best as good believers and to do good and to support him and to just support Islam in the community as a whole. That what I want to share is some information that could be helpful, and it was helpful before and could even be helpful now. It's a letter that I had received from Imam W.Deen Mohammed in the year 2001 in response to a letter that I sent him. Now, this picture you see here, this is a later picture. This is 2003, May 29th, 2003, when Imam Muhammad visited Masjid Ibrahim. But there's some background information that led to all of this, and some background information that I think we all should know now and we didn't know before. So here, this letter I'm going to show you is, again, response to a letter that I sent to Imam Muhammad. And the letter I sent to Imam Muhammad was concerning the establishment of a masjid. And so that's why I say that's something that'll never go away. Some good advice on establishing a masjid, whether that was said to me 2001 or 100 years ago, and going into the future, 100 years going into the future, about establishing a masjid and the intentions that we should have in establishing a masjid. So I'm gonna read this letter here, and then inshallah we'll cover a little history, a little background information that I think also will be beneficial. Looking at 2001, a little something 2002, and then 2003. Okay, so just want to share this. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna look at the letter from Imam Muhammad. Then I'll show you the letter from me. Then I'm gonna play a couple of clips from Imam Muhammad that led me to write the letter that I wrote. At no point was I interested in being an imam or really being over a masjid. In fact, me and the Imam, we had met in Atlanta around 1996 or 97. And it was something we was concerned with leadership in the Newark area. And I had expressed that I had no real interest in being an imam in Newark or anywhere else. And the Imam said, concerning that situation, well, if you did become imam, you could do both. I was saying, I've been writing books and I've been, traveling and doing the dawah in the way that I've been doing it for years, And he said, well, if you did become the imam, then Newark, you could do both. He said, so give thought to it. And he said, I gave a lot of thought. This is him speaking. Before I took my father's job, I gave a lot of thought to it. He said, I wouldn't even accepted it before I gave a lot of thought to it. So we had that conversation. But beyond that, I moved on. That was 96, 97. And then I never called myself an imam. Imam Muhammad referred to me as an imam. And you probably heard the video I put out when the Imam recommended my book, Religion Islam, Nation Islam, What's the Difference? And he said, like Imam Mustafa El-Amin. So he referred to me as Imam. So I really didn't have any really strong desire to be an Imam over a masjid or anything like that. I was satisfied and always trying to help, though. If it meant becoming an Imam that was going to help Imam Muhammad in the community, then that's what I would do. If it meant whatever, spending money, like any of you other good believers and supporters of Imam Muhammad in the community. That's how I am and that's how I was. So I'm gonna show you this letter here a little more, okay? And then I'm gonna give you a little backdrop or background information in terms of why I established the masjid. So here's the letter from Imam Muhammad. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, as you can see. Imam Mustafa El-Amin, P.O. Box 32148, Newark, New Jersey, 07102. As you can see, January 29th, 2001. And so his response, matters, this is very significant. Matters are judged by intentions. He quotes our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, right? The messenger of God. Dear Mustafa El-Amin, brother Mustafa El-Amin, he says, in my opinion, very important here, brothers, even now, in my opinion, most big cities need 5 or more masjids. You hear that? We are asking my daughter, appointment secretary, Bakira, to contact you and arrange a time suitable for both of us to have the meeting you requested. Your brother in faith, W.Deen Mohammed. Now, I'm moving this around. I'm trying to hold it steady. I have a tripod, but in order to do it this way, I have to move it. This is very, very important, even for now. Brothers, if you're thinking about or ever thought about establishing a masjid, here's what Imam Muhammad says. It's his quote to me, and so you go a long ways with this. Matters are judged by intentions. And he said, cities, in my opinion, most big cities need 5 or more masjids. Okay, and then he said, and we made an appointment. Now, I'm going to show you my letter so we can put this in context. But also, the message is big. That, and you know, coming out of the old nation of Islam and some of the habits that we had, and some may still have, is in our cities, there was one temple, right? One mother temple, and all the others were satellites, right? And so some coming behind Imam Muhammad with the leadership of Imam Muhammad, it took a long time to break that mindset. So some of the imams and leaders felt that even in their city, there should be one masjid, right? And anyone who decided to set up a masjid, they were a renegade, right? And I'm not saying this is not negative. I'm just going over some of the history, right? You were seen as an outcast, creating division. Now, this isn't the case with me. I didn't break off from anyone. I wasn't a part of anything. It wasn't even my desire to be an imam. I was doing what I was doing. So, but we do remember that, right? And some of you that's looking, this might have been in that mindset. It should be one masjid in the city, right? City got 500,000 people. But Imam Muhammad, look what he says. And this is Newark and anywhere else. In my opinion, most big cities need 5 or more masjids. Now, that's in 2001, he's saying this to me, right? And I'm sharing this with you, and I shared it with some others. The point is, no matter what, if your intentions are good. So you see here, he say, let's set up a meeting. But look what this says. Whether we get a chance or meet or not, here's the most important. Matters are judged by intention. So if we don't get a chance to meet, go by your intentions. If your intentions are good, then you go right ahead on. So now we're going to go ahead, and you understand this. I hope you do that. There was a mindset, and you know, there's one masjid and there should be no other and all of that. But that was part of our growth and development. I'm not saying anything negative. I wouldn't do that. Okay, so now this is in response to my letter, and then I'll give you some background information as to why I wrote my letter. Okay, here we go. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, right? Assalamu alaikum, Imam Mustafa El-Amin, P.O. Box 32148, Newark, New Jersey, etc., right? January 10th, 2001. Now remember, Imam Muhammad's letter is the 29th, so within a couple of weeks, he responded, right? Now, Imam Muhammad, that's the address, Hazel Crest, Illinois. Dear Imam Muhammad, dear Imam W.Deen Mohammed, I pray that this brief letter will find you in the best of health and spirit. The purpose of this letter is to inform you that I am considering establishing an Islamic center or a masjid in the Newark area. So I didn't just go out and do it. I didn't say this is my plan. Let's read on. Brother Imam, I love and respect you. I want to do all that I can to help you and your mission. I don't want to do anything to interfere with your plans or strategies for Newark. That is why I'm informing you of my thinking. You understand? I said of my thinking, not of my plans, not something I already did. It came to my mind, and I'm going to share with you why. Then I said, I would love to have the opportunity to discuss this with you soon. May Allah bless you and your family. Signed, Mustafa El-Amin. Okay? So now you see how the Imam responded. Basically, Mustafa, matters are judged by intentions. Okay? And in these big cities, there should be 5 or more. So in other words, you won't be getting in my way or doing anything against me. But we did finally have a meeting. Myself, Imam Ali Muslim, we met with the Imam. He had just, let me put this down some. We met in Baltimore, Maryland, after he had spoke at the what's that in Maryland? There's a college. What is it called? Prince something college, and let's see. It was a community college. Hold on one second. Yes, it was a community college in Maryland. And after the Imam had the public address, we went into Baltimore and we ate at an IHOP and we met there. And it's called Prince George Community College. That was March 11th, 2001. We had our meeting. And there, that meeting was, we went to the IHOP, International House of Pancakes, and I'm sitting across from the Imam directly. Imam Ali Muslim is sitting to his left, and Brother Imam Omar Shaheed from, I believe it's Columbus, South Carolina, was sitting to my right. And the Imam said, okay, keep doing what you're doing. We discussed it. He gave me some advice. He said, start small. He said, don't run out there and get a big place. You'll be paying for people to come, because when it comes to work, it's always a small few. Okay? And he said, do not set up anywhere near Masjid Muhammad, 257 South Orange Avenue in Newark. He said, don't set up there so the Imam won't be saying you taking his followers. And he said, go after new people. That's some of what was discussed there. And he said, just keep doing what you're doing. All right? And then you'll know when to go ahead and try to do something like that. And he said, if you start small, then your core will help you determine how much more space you need. And that's what we did. But that wasn't, I didn't run out in 2001 and do it. We didn't establish until 2003. And we did exactly what the Imam had advised. We started small, and he came and showed support. But there's a lot to this. And so, inshallah, we're going to cover a few things. I'm going to play a clip to speak to my motivation, what motivated me to do this. But if you don't listen beyond this, brothers, pay attention to that letter that the Imam sent. That is, matters are judged by intentions. And in these big cities, you can imagine at that time, right, that mindset was still there. With some, that you splitting off, you this, and the other. That didn't apply to me at all. I wasn't splitting off from anyone. My intentions was whatever I can do to help the Imam. And if it meant establishing an Islamic center, even with all that I was doing already to help move his materials, etc., I was willing to do that. But anyway, I'm going to play a couple of clips that motivated me to do what I do. But this is clips from Imam Muhammad, okay? let's see. Now, this first clip is in Harvey, Illinois, and it's on November 17th, 2000. Okay. And, you know, as we know, the Imam struggled. He achieved so much, but he had opposition, right? And he had tough times on a human level trying to get this work done. A lot of good, but also challenges. So I'm going to play something that the Imam said that contributed to my motivation.
All the support, but 1%. I'd rather have 1% straight people than to have 100% hypocrites. So I'm announcing here from this place, from this message, under Imam W.Deen in this city of Harvey. I'm announcing today that you who've been lying to yourself and us, you're not included in my eyes anymore. In my eyes, you're not included. You're not with us. We don't expect anything from you. And I will not be coming to your messages anymore. Anymore. In my eyes, you're not included. You're not with us. We don't expect anything from you. And I will not be coming to your messages anymore.
Okay, so you hear that, right? So again, alhamdulillah, the Imam was dealing with issues, and you heard him say he wasn't going to be coming to people of a certain mindset and attitude to their masjid. So alhamdulillah, he came to Masjid Ibrahim. We didn't fall in that category, but these are one of the things that motivated me to try to help. Hold on, I'm going to play another one that was close to home. It's when Imam was in Newark speaking at a elementary school or that we rent there, middle school, George Washington Carver. And when he was there, he said something concerning us trusting him more.
Praise be to Allah. So I conclude this by saying to you, we are on the way. And I wish you would trust me more. I don't have the time to show you everything I'm doing and to tell you everything that's going on. It's impossible, really. But I hope the good ones among you will get the message to you, the true message. I'm busy. I don't have time. And we don't have people qualified to weigh the gravity and importance of what we're doing and respond accordingly. We don't have the people. Not only we don't have the people, America doesn't have the America, this nation is without the people.
So that touched me much. I was there when Imam Muhammad said, I need you all to trust me more. And I thought about that when I went home. It touched me even emotionally with tears. Little tears came because my thinking was all that Imam Muhammad had done up to that point and was doing for us and the sacrifices that he was making and has made, the least we could do is trust him. And as you say, you know, he don't have time to do everything. So, brothers and sisters, that's what moved me, right? Even though what I was doing, I was like, wow, what else can I do to help the Imam in his great work and his sacrifices that he done? It really bothered me for him to say, I need you all to trust me more. Like, how can you not trust a beautiful man that had done all that he had did up to that point, right? And continuing to do, right? The way he handled us, the transition, etc. So I'm thinking, what else can I do? And so it crossed my mind, said, okay, maybe you can set up an Islamic center or something, you know, physical. You know, I'm moving around doing dawah. Maybe you can do something physical. And so that was my motivation. And so as you see my letter, now we look at my letter again, and I say, Brother Imam, I love you and respect you. I want to do all that I can to help you in your mission. I don't want to do anything to interfere with your plan or strategy for Newark. At one point, he was talking about moving to Newark. Newark, as you heard, it's a very special place to the Imam. And I said, I said, that is why I'm informing you of my thinking, my thoughts. And then now we go again, and you see the Imam's response in a couple of weeks, right? And he said, matters are judged by intentions, right? Very important, okay? And he said, in my opinion, most big cities need 5 or more masjids. So now I got to go whether we meet or not. And again, as I said, we did meet in March at the college that I mentioned, and we discussed what we discussed, and I went on. I didn't run from there and then go establish a masjid. I continue to do, as he said, keep doing what you're doing, and you'll know what to do. Okay, so you can see this letter here is in 2001, right? So I continued to do what I was doing, right? 2001, among other things. So now here's what you see. This letter is 2001. We met in 2001. Now I leave and go on and continue to do what I'm doing. And here's one indication which you all probably seen over the years. New leadership, right? I started giving the talk on new leadership. And here, as you can see, I'm going to put this up here. Muslim Journal, saluting African American History Month. Now, this is after we met in January. Now, here's February 2001, saluting African American History Month. ElAmin production. Topic: the time has arrived, the need for new leadership. February 25th, 2001. Okay? So we went on and we addressed that. Need for new leadership, right? On the back of the Muslim Journal, right? Then after we did that, we went on. That was part 1. Now here, Muslim Journal, Imam Muhammad clearly sees this. He knows we talk. Need for new leadership. This is the April paper, right? So that was February. Then we met in March. Now here's April, right? I'm continuing to do what I do in April. Now, what is this here? A public lecture by Imam Mustafa El-Amin. Topic: the time has arrived, the need for new leadership. That's April, right? 2001. As the Imam said, just continue to keep doing what you're doing. I didn't run out and say, hey, I want to establish a masjid. No, that was just my thinking, to try to help, right? Now, things keep going. And then we run into what? The attack on the World Trade Center, right? That's September, right? This is September 28th paper. We know 9/11, the year 2001. And Imam Muhammad issues this statement here on the Muslim Journal, which you can see, right? And he sent condolences for the lives lost in the terrorist attack, September 11, 2001. All right? So we see this. And I'm continuing along like everyone else to do what I've been doing. And then even in that year, I wrote the book, Islam and Christianity, highlighting their similarities. Also in November that year, they came from the Netherlands and they did a portrait of a Muslim and they stayed with me for a few days. But anyway, just letting you know, we continued to do what we were doing. We didn't run and establish Masjid Ibrahim. Masjid Ibrahim was established in 2003. This is all 2001. So then we continue on to 2002. Just kept doing what I was doing until the time, I guess, hit me. Now, here's Muslim Journal, right? This is April 2002. Okay? I had wrote the book, Islam and Christianity, highlighting their similarities. And there's a program done, as you can see, right? Okay, honored guest Imam Muhammad. And this was in Hammond, Indiana. Okay? So, quickly, okay, so now moving forward to 2003, okay, when we established the masjid. And of course, I haven't been doing anything without, when I could communicate with Imam Muhammad. Just sharing this information with you. And if you don't do anything else, you keep this letter in mind if you think about establishing the masjid. Okay, so now I'm just trying to share some information. We established Masjid Ibrahim February 26, 2003. You see, founded and incorporated. Masjid Ibrahim was founded and established on February 26, 2003 by a few dedicated men and women. And on May 29, 2003, we were honored with the visit by Imam W.Deen Mohammed. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So we tried to stay in sync with the community history, right? February 26, 2003. So I send word to Imam Muhammad that we got a place and we're established. And then I saw him in, I think with Philadelphia, and I told him, and he said, beautiful, put something together and I'll be there to the masjid. Okay? Alhamdulillah. Now, but in between that time, guess what happens? You see this here? I developed prostate cancer. Okay, you see this here? Prostate cancer, right? The pathologists have reported your doctor that you have cancer in the prostate, right? So now I have prostate cancer. Okay, and you want to see when this is? So you can see the date. This is April 2003. All right. As soon as we established the masjid in February, we let the imam know. And then now I have prostate cancer. But I didn't let it stop me. Now, then somewhere shortly after that, I think it was in either Washington or Virginia, you know, they're close. I saw the imam. I had sent word that I had prostate cancer. And I had a chance to meet him, and I told him, I said, did you get the message? He said, no, but I'm praying for you right now. And he said, this is what you do. He said, continue to take the coral calcium, drink plenty of water, and take what the doctor has prescribed. I said, Brother Imam, my biggest concern is that it's going to slow me down in the work. That's all. It's the God's honest truth. That was my biggest concern, is that it's going to slow me down in the work. And he said, no, it's not going to slow you down in the work. It's going to make you work even harder. Okay, and then we greeted each other. And in my mind, I know his brother, Emmanuel, the oldest, he had died from prostate cancer. I know my father had it. But that was my concern, slow me down in the work. Okay, so I have cancer now in 2003. Now, 2003, as you have seen before, Imam Muhammad comes to Masjid Ibrahim, right? Imam Muhammad visits Masjid Ibrahim. When does he come there? May 29th, you see, 2003. So there's a lot going on in 2003. We established the masjid. I got cancer. Imam Muhammad visits the masjid. Now, all that you see going on and anything that goes on after that in 2003, I know I have to talk fast because a lot happened in 2003. Remember, I stepped up and said I'm leading the ASM after Imam stepped down and we talked. Well, I had cancer, okay? And so let me just share this. You see, Imam Muhammad visit. That's 2003. So what you're going to hear the Imam say, I see the man with the camera, so let's take pictures before we do the salat.
Oh, okay, yes.
So he wants us to record this. And after the Imam greets the masjid, he instructs me to lead the salat. Ask.
Allahu Akbar. Allah. Allahu Akbar.